Good morning and slightly in the afternoon. Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas. It looks like we're going to get rain today, but seeing is believing. When I see that rain coming down, I'll really believe it. But we need it, right? We need a lot of it. So today, we're going to definitely not keep it simple. We're going to step it up. This is the fourth card of the free class kit to go. So just to let you know that, and I'll show you, you just saw pictures of the others right there. So we'll go ahead and do it. Today we're going to use some stamping blend. Not stamping blend, we're going to use a blending brush, right? And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And trying to think what else we got going. It's just a fun flap, right? Very simple, and just know how to do it, right? So let's go down the hands and let's do this, right? It's Wednesday, hump day, just a few days left, and we are back to the weekend. So let's see what we got going here. So these are the first two we made. This is what we made last week. And we made one similar to it at the retreat as well, too. I'll show you the one we made at the retreat. So actually, I'm going to take a combination of the two. We're going to actually do a little coloring on paper and decide which one we like the best, right? So there you go. So I just want to show you that. But these are the actual cards that are coming with the free kit to go. Put that one aside. And let me get this going for us, so I can show you what we're doing with a fun flap here. All right, let me get these guys out of the way. And butterflies come in all shapes and sizes, right? This is some butterflies my daughter made for me. She was tatting at the retreat on Saturday, and that's what she made for me. So I'm going to set those aside. Those aren't going to anybody. Those are like my little treasure troves. All right, so we're going to do a fun flap, and what we're going to do is we're going to first start off with, put that out of the way too, a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of paper. And what we're going to do, move that all out of the way, just was showing you. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I don't even know if I can do it sideways like this. We'll see. This is already scored at 5 1/2, all right? Now make sure it's 4 1/4. It's definitely 4 1/4. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a diagonal here. Now, you might have seen something similar to this before where we actually use a 4 1/4 by 11 sheet of paper to make this flap, but we're not. We're doing this one, we're going to do this a little different. I'm just making sure my scored line here, and this is lined up here, and it's done, okay? So if there's any mistakes, regrets, too late. We just did it. All right, so I didn't do it all the way through, but that's okay. I'm just going to take my scissors. I'm going to tell people, I don't sweat the small stuff. To me, stuff like that's small stuff. All right? It's nothing to get excited. You know, if it doesn't come out perfect, just trim it off a little, right? I've never, ever had somebody say, you made this mistake, or you did this, or you did that. Nah, they're just grateful to get a card, right? Okay, the other thing we've done is we're taking a 4 1/4. So this is going to fold, so you get to see this, how the flap is going to go. And then we're going to have a crisscross over flap, okay? So the way we're going to do that is I've got 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, and it's already scored right here. Score line's important, right? Because just like we did a diagonal there, we're going to cut a diagonal across here. So my flap this way round is going to go like this. All right? So that's how the flap's going to go. If I need my bone folder, I can get that. So when I cut diagonally, I'm going to cut from here to here. Okay? Do the same thing. We're just going to put that there, and I'm going to put this right here, and that right there on the edge there. So I'll put a little bit more pressure, okay? All right. So, and I always save these, right? We'll use them for something. I don't know what offhand. That wasn't on my agenda today to figure out what I was going to do with that, but I always do stuff with it, okay? So now here's where we got our flaps, all right? Now, don't worry about this. We're going to cover this with DSP, but at least having 1/2 inch allows you to sit up there and have a little bit of wiggle room. And just a second, let's see here. I think I want to use glue. There we go. There's that glue. All right, I'm still getting things cleaned up from the retreat, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and get this on. A couple of things we're going to do. I did a little fussy cutting or hand cutting, whatever you want to call it, beforehand. I was waiting for the time to go live. So we'll just have a little bit we might do, but not much, okay? And actually, if you want to do this at 1/4 inch, you could maybe do 1/4 inch too. I just went with a 1/2 inch. All right. And you see how that's just going to, you just want to make sure everything lines up, right? So I told someone yesterday, if it doesn't line up completely, just use your scissors to trim it off, all right? Okay, and then on the inside, we're going to use very vanilla. So I'm going to go ahead and get the inside done first, because I can, right? And I have a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. That's going to go right across here. So see how that's going to go across really nice. So we're going to go ahead and put that down. Yeah, so if you're out there, say hello, and I'll try to say hello back. Say it's a little different. We don't have everything changed up yet the way I'd like it, but hey, we're making progress. Hello, Linda. I like the sunglasses. Get it to rain for us. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this right up here. So that's why you don't have to worry about, you know, the fact that you've actually put a 1/2 inch on the back of this, or whatever you decide to do. If you decide to do a 1/4 inch, we're just going to put this right up to the edge, and it's going to cover that pretty much, right? All right, and then we're going to put this right here over it as well, too. And this is just, so we really have focused on these cards here, even though we've got the butterflies in it. The real focus has been to focus on the paper, because the paper is absolutely gorgeous and goes with so many things, right? Definitely springy. All right. So, okay, we got this part done here. All right, now comes the next fun part. So we're going to use some DSP. Yeah, I sort of poked around to see which one I thought I'd like the best. So we're going to do this diagonally, right? And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to cut these diagonally. Now, you can actually cut both of these at the same time. So I'm going to end up with enough to make really 2 cards. So I'm not limited to 1. All right? Because since we're cutting it diagonally, it's just going to fit perfectly right in here. It should fit perfectly right in here. Okay? So again, as I go to look at this, it's like, all right, which way? Because I need to cut it, right? So I'm going to need to cut it straight across this way. Let me set that there. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to anchor this right here. And we're just going to anchor it right there. And that's going to get us our diagonal, okay? And it's going to work because it's a 1/4 inch difference, right? This is 4 by 5 1/4 inch. And yes, some DSP, if it's thin enough, you can cut through both at the same time. You got to put enough pressure. It looks like mine might have been off just a smidgen there, but it's okay. We're going to work with it. It'll work. Okay. Get this out of the way. So it's beautiful paper on both sides, right? So you decided you wanted to flip them over and all, that's fine. You just have to make sure that it's going to work for you, okay? So what I've got, so this one here, I was not going to put here. I was going to put this one over here. So that's why I said you have enough to make 2 cards when you do this. This one's going to go here, and we're just going to put it down. And then I'm going to use this one on the other side, and it's going to go, it should have gone here. All right, now see, here's the problem. So I was focused on this one, and I didn't focus on this side. So now I've got an opportunity. So what I wanted originally was to have this brown, and I went ahead and cut them both at the same time, thinking I was really clever, which I felt pretty clever. But see, it's not the right angle. It's on this angle here. Okay, now that's not what I planned on. So let's see how this is going to look. It looks fine, right? It's not what I planned on, but so when you go and do this, you need to be sure to look at, I didn't think of the brown. I was just thinking of cutting in one sweep, and that was that. So I have 2 options, right? I can either, I really don't have 2 options. Let's see here. If I did it this way, then I'm in the same boat, right? Because I could do it like this. And I could do it like this, right? But I wouldn't have the combination, and that's all because of the way I cut it. So what you really need to do, and I should have done, versus just trying to do it all in one sweep, is I should have gone ahead and looked at the other one as well, too, as I showed you the first one. But I'm still going to stick with it because I still wanted this one. I'm going to reserve the right to change my mind. So if I want the right to change my mind, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to glue this down completely. You can just sit there and take your tape runner, put a little sticky there right in the middle. You could use a glue dot too if you wanted to, but it's just as easy to do that. So I'm just going to put it out here so I can see what it looks like. Since I envisioned brown over here and I don't have brown, I get to now envision something else. Alright, so we're going to just put a little right there. It's going to hold it in place long enough for me to sit there. Now see, this is, I'll just make sure it's squared off fine. Let's use my bone folder. See, I wasn't even anticipating me having an opportunity here because I had it already all figured out in my mind. So, alright. So we get an opportunity to do it just a little bit different. Okay, we'll see if that floats my boat. If not, I can always later go back and change it to brown. Okay, but at least have a choice, right? Okay, so that's the main thing. Just don't throw in the towel. You have a choice. Okay, so the next thing is I've actually done this arch right here. And it's going to go right here. Now, since I'm not sold on, I'm sold on this. I'm not sure if I'm completely sold on this. I really liked my brown. I had my heart set on the brown. Again, all I'm going to do is just what I did just then. Because it's like I'm getting my look together here, right? Alright, so I'm just going, I hope I didn't do that too tall. Alright, so this is going to go just like this. So no matter what, right? That's why I had envisioned the brown, just to give you an idea. See how the difference would look from yellow to just adding the brown. So I'll have to think on that. Alright, so at least you see where that's going, right? So the next step is I brought the butterflies. I already cut the butterflies, but I've done the butterflies different ways. And I really wanted to add the orange. Put this one aside too. I really wanted to add some orange like this card has here, right? I thought it would just look really good, just have some just nice around the edges. So I actually I've got the butterfly both for Lemon Lolly and Daffodil Delight. I'm pretty sure that one looks more Daffodil Delight. But let's get some orange on the leaves here. So I brought, the reason why I've used Peach Pie, because Peach Pie is light, right? So I can keep applying layers of it to get it darker. I didn't go with Pumpkin Pie, which is definitely an orange, right? Because it's going to already be dark, right? So if I needed it lighter, I can't do anything about it. So I decided I would just go with the Peach Pie. And we're going to add some color and see which we like the best, all right? So it's all about, I wasn't sure which one. Some days I like one thing, another day I want to do something different, right? As I told my friend Linda yesterday, it's like, I'm not a machine, and I'm not somebody that wants to go crank out 50 cards of the same thing every day, right? I like a little change. So even if I have to just change a little bit of something so it's not exactly the same, right? Okay, so you can see, just putting this on here, this is light, right? The orange would be different. Pumpkin Pie is definitely much darker. So I can apply it as much as I want. So see how I can do that light? But if I want it darker, I can make it darker, right? But if it's too dark, then I've got a dilemma. An opportunity for creativity. There we go. All right, so now you can see how this is shaping up. So if you look at the one I'd already previously done, this was actually paper. I didn't actually add color, but I used up all my paper, so now I have to create my own, right? So that's always fun, and I enjoy that. So you see how it looks very, very similar, right? Okay, so we're going to add just a little bit more, because I see that one's got a little bit more orange on it, and I really like that one, the way that one turned out. Even if it was paper and I didn't have to do much of anything. Because all this is like underneath, right? It's underneath the brown. Okay, now let's see how that's shaping up. Okay, so this is on Lemon Lolly, all right? Now let's see how it looks on Daffodil Delight, because I like choices. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come around some of the edges. I might decide I don't like this. I don't know. It may be too dark. I'm thinking a little on the lighter side, but we'll know once we finish. I could even add a little brown if I wanted to this one, right? Remind me of the monarch butterflies that's supposed to migrate through here. They usually do. Some years we have them heavy and some years we don't. So we always try to think about what we can do to help the butterflies on their journey. Okay, so just so you see what the differences in color is. So this is, right, Daffodil Delight, and here is Lemon Lolly. So you see there is a difference because one's just definitely a darker, richer color, right? It's just a matter of preference. So let's see how we're going to like it. Get that out of the way before I get stuff all over me. Okay. All right, so we're going to actually put some flowers in here because I already cut these flowers, or a branch, or both, because I get that opportunity, right? All right, so this butterfly is going to be right here. So this is Lemon Lolly. And this one is Daffodil Delight. Doesn't seem like a lot of difference, but it is, right? It's just enough differences in color. So I don't know. What do you like better? Do you like the Lemon Lolly? Or do you prefer the Daffodil Delight, right? It's always such a choice. Because those colors are right here. So I don't know. I don't really have a preference today. If you have a preference, let me know. But I don't at the moment, all right? I do know this much. I do know I'm going to put these flowers here. So this butterfly isn't going to be like by itself. It's going to have some flowers. I've already cut them out. Put some down here too. Let's see, because we want to make the most of it. If I fussy cut it and we're going to use it, we want to make sure we use it, right? Okay, so that gives you another look, all right? So it's that. Daffodil Delight or Lemon Lolly. Bloop. So I think, since I don't have anybody say anything one way or the other, I think I'm going to go with Lemon Lolly. I can actually add some more orange if I want to, the peach pie. Let me get these guys on here. And I'm going to go ahead and put these up on dimensional, and the butterfly is going to go on dimensional too. More than likely, as long as it's not too high. Yes, and I could put Wink of Stella on here too, right? It's about all the sparkly, looking like the fresh morning dew or fresh morning rain on the flowers and everything outside in the grass. Right? I like that. I like that in the morning time. Yes. Alright. The top butterfly, oh, this one here is done out of early espresso, dark chocolate. You like the Daffodil Delight. Okay. So Pat likes the Daffodil Delight. Okay, that's fine. I can go Daffodil Delight. I'm not picky. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. This one's the good one. Yeah, that one's for the inside, so yes. Alright. Not picky. We can do that. Alright, Daffodil Delight. We'll go with Daffodil Delight then. Okay, so this is early espresso that we're going to put right here. Okay. And we're just going to put a little glue here. So I will say, using Daffodil Delight makes having all the flowers not as overbearing as much. Because it's just a little bit darker, right? Okay, and then we're going to sit here and take the body of the butterfly and put it on here as well. Alright, so you guys are both onto the Daffodil Delight. Okay. Yeah, that's what's right. It's just got a lot of light stuff in there. So Daffodil Delight's just going to make it pop, right? Okay. And I'm just going to flex everything just a little bit. Just because I can. I'd rather do it now. I got everything like doing its thing. Alright. Now I'm going to put this on here. Just like this here. Okay. And I talked about doing a dimensional, and I can. So it's just have to be a narrow one, right? So we're just going to do that. Okay. Put that right down there. And we're going to put this right here. Now we could add bling if we wanted to, right? I wasn't. I really thought there was enough going on here without adding some bling. Okay. So actually, so like that, I think this is okay like this with this. You have to tell me if that's not okay or not. So when I open this up, it's going to open up just like this here. Now what I envision, and we're going to finish this off, I have one more little flower that's still to finish fussy cutting. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it right as we go to open this up. So what I envision doing was putting it there and putting a little butterfly. So I've already got a little butterfly cut out that we're just going to put right here when you go to open this. It's going to go right here. Now I'm going to have to do this a little bit. So in this particular paper, I had got the edge there because I wanted another small flower. And I didn't have any more on the paper there that I was working with. So I'm just going to have to shape this just a little bit on my own, right? That's all right. In nature, nothing's ever always... Sometimes we have leaves that are broken off and everything, and I'm okay with that. All right, so I'm just going to put this here. Might have to do it this way because you got to make sure, right? You want to make sure that everything is contained within the card that's going to go in the envelope. All right. So I'm going to put this on dimensional. So we don't do this too often, right? Coming on the inside and decorating, but this is a great way to be able to do this. Just put that right there. And then here's my little butterfly. Actually, I need to get rid of that. Okay. And we're just going to put a little glue on here and put it on there. There you go. All right. Oh, thank you. I think so. By the time you put the butterfly, it did take away from it being so busy, didn't it? I was concerned about that, and I was trying to think out how I was going to get that brown over it if I wanted to. But I'm thinking it's working out okay by just doing it like this, right? So we got our butterfly right here. Now to me, I might need to change out that color because this goes back to this one here, as this is Daffodil Delight, and I did this, and it just blends too much. So I most probably will come back and change that out. The other thing I had brought with me to do as well, if I needed to, was I brought this branch. I'm not sure this branch will do anything, but it'll help break that up, right? So it's going to help break up that just a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm just going to put that on here. So when you close this, you'll see the branch, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add this. So this is just combining different, right, dyes and together. So that'll help break up some of that busyness as well too. But I think I'm going to change out the butterfly to Daffodil Delight like the other one. I think I'm just going to like that a lot better. So I'm just going to put this down just like right here because it's going to just help break some of that up. It'll dry in a minute. I'll trim that down. And then when you open this up, you can put your sentiments. So for me, I'm just going to put time to celebrate, right? And I'm going to do this butterfly here. All right, so again, yes, we do it like I showed you at the treat, right? So what I'm going to do here is, again, we're going to decide. It might be Daffodil Delight again. I know we're going to have to most probably do the second stamp off because Daffodil Delight is dark, right, in comparison to Lemon Lolly. But let's see what we think here. All right? Because I know I'm going to use the second stamp off. So here we go. Here's the first stamp off. And here is the second stamp off. Okay, that's Daffodil Delight. Now Lemon Lolly, we'll see what that looks like. Because this is going to go on Very Vanilla. So it's not going on white, but still gives you an idea. Very Vanilla is going to make it just a little bit darker. Because that's just what Very Vanilla does, comparison to white. So let's see what Lemon Lolly looks like. See how it looks. All right, so Lemon Lolly. Let's see if you can see this. Okay, so here's stamp off number 1, Lemon Lolly. And then here's stamp off number 2. Now that is very, very light. So I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you like. If you like the Daffodil Delight, or if you think you're going to like the Lemon Lolly. Lemon Lolly is definitely very, very subtle. So let me know. What do you prefer? What are we going to do? Decisions. It's all about decisions, right? What are we going to do? Because we're going to stamp words across it, right? So there you go. We're going to stamp words across it. I'm looking if I have any spare Very Vanilla up here. I don't think I do. I think I just came with what I needed. All right, no thoughts there? Nothing yet? Okay, I'm going to go ahead then. Thinking. Because we're going to stamp in early espresso, all right? So it doesn't matter if I went light with Daffodil Delight. Okay, use the light. Okay, I'm going to use the lighter one then. Because it's Daffodil, so the early espresso is going to show up really nice. I'm very vanilla. So that's what I planned on doing. All right, we're inking this up, and we're going to do it then. All right, going to stamp off, and then we're going to come in and stamp in here. Now I can see some of the edges are a little bit darker there, but the world's not going to end. Okay, so we got a nice subtle look, right? Nice subtle look. All right, so then we're just going to stamp in the middle of it with our sentiment, and I am going to use Time to Celebrate. It's time to celebrate, because time to celebrate can be for anything, right? So, like my husband is retiring, so it's time to celebrate. Could be an anniversary, time to celebrate. Birthday is definitely a time to celebrate. And we're just going to come across the butterfly just like that here. And we're just going to have the butterfly subtle in the background. So there you go. Here's our card. I'll have to come back and tape it down really good and all. But here we go. So like you said, it really did. It really, by doing the butterfly like that, it really toned it down. All the busyness of the patterns. Again, let's see here. I still liked my brown though. But you know what? I can live with it. I can live with it. And then we open it up, and then we have our butterfly here. And we have It's Time to Celebrate there. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? Because it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. That's really what it's all about. And enjoying it, right? And enjoying what you're doing. So if you're not having fun creating for somebody that you know you're going to give it to, then you most likely need to take a break. All right? So I hope you enjoyed it. And be sure to share. I hope if you enjoyed it, share it with others. We'd appreciate that. And I want to thank you for supporting us not only here on Facebook, but also on YouTube and Instagram. With that, be blessed. Have an amazing day, an amazing week. And I'll see you next week where we're going to do Notes and Totes for the rest for May 1st through the 15th, right? And if you're interested in doing paper share, now's the time. It's out there on my email. If you need it and need me to send it to you, you will, because we will be closing that out next week on the 5th, because I'll be ordering on May 6th. Try anything else. And our club kit is doing Notes and Totes as well. So there you go. Be blessed. See you soon. Bye.